So this is a video from a male rabbi who survived the anti-male waves of the reform movement, and he still gets paid upwards of $300,000 a year. But he seems like something actually bothers him. So let's listen to him. His name is Rabbi, I don't know, I just call him an Ogamolta. Let's listen to what he has to say. This is the first time anyone of the progressive reform Jewish movement actually came to terms with what they went wrong.
We will address the uncomfortable reality that some of those anti-Israel protesters are Jewish.
Some of those anti-Israel protesters are Jewish. Wow, okay, good. Are they Jewish, or do they come specifically from your camps?
Hundreds of Reform rabbis, cantors, educators, administrators, and lay leaders of our synagogues will begin to grapple with our own inadequacies.
Yeah.
Why are so many of those young Jewish protesters graduates and alumni of Reform synagogues, Reform youth groups, Reform summer camps? What did we do wrong?
What did you do wrong? What did you do wrong? People have been telling you for years that progressivism equals hatred. You laughed at them. You have Trump derangement syndrome. Trump, everything's Trump, Trump, Trump. And you got so scared when anyone radical feminism. No, it's not a problem. It's great. You defended everything. That's where you went wrong.
And most importantly, what should we be doing now?
Okay, so this guy is third-generation rabbi in a Reform synagogue. He's copying his father, copying his other grandfather, becoming an orator. This is when rabbis turned orators. Rabbis turned orators when radio became popular in the 1930s, I think. And then people used to give speeches. And the reason why I was given an orator is besides the fact that they didn't want to say, hey, how you doing? They just said, hi, how are you? Welcome. Besides sounding like an important person, I believe it was the sound waves on the radio that you couldn't talk to me, I'm talking right now. You needed to say, we will make a pronouncement now, that the sound waves came clearer on the radio. That's my theory, personal theory, to find out if that's true. So he's copying his father, copying his grandfather, copying the orator that was on the radio that did it because of the sound frequency of the Marconi radio, whatever. Now he's going to come up with the answer.
To instill in our youngsters the core Jewish value, without which nothing Jewish makes sense.
Fine. Now he's going to come up with the answer. Let's instill in our youngsters the core Jewish value. Now he is being authentic, so he's not being full of shit. But the whole thing is a Purim spiel. But go ahead.
Instill in our youngsters the core Jewish value, without which nothing Jewish makes sense. Ahavat Yisrael, love, concern, and responsibility for fellow Jews.
Yeah, okay, all right. So your response is, Ahavat Yisrael, love and responsibility. The whole thing's glat gahak chainik. So, I mean, you just started talking about it now. Like, where were you for the past who knows how many years, for the past who knows how many generations? What happened with that ideal? Why was it always taking care of let me ask you, why did the same rabbi 10 years ago give a speech? It wasn't exactly him, it was one of his colleagues, give a speech on Yom Kippur night about what? What was the speech about Yom Kippur night? Jewish values? No. Jewish pride? No. Jewish education? No. The speech on Yom Kippur night, most important speech of the whole year, was about what? Saving elephants in Africa. That's what they spoke about. That's what they've been focusing on. Global warming, but it wasn't just global warming. It's all of these stupid little inconsequential, ineffective, fake sort of liberal or progressive or whatever idea of the day was. And many of them sounded very foolish. But you went along with it because it worked well. There was no anti-Semitism and you got paid a lot of money and you had your fat car and your fat house and your fat life and very good. So it worked well for you. So you never had to focus on it. Meantime, the Chabad guy who was the loser, right, the Orthodox loser, you had the big powerful shul with the air conditioning and money and all the people came, and you were so proud. And then meanwhile, the Orthodox Chabad guy, Navach, he's standing there and says, we have to be proud to be Jews and Yidden. And every Yid is an important person. And then you laughed at him because he didn't speak English so well and he wasn't really cool. And he didn't have your official education from College A, College B, and the Union of Reform Synagogue, so like with Cantor Krokachark or whatever the people's names are. So you laughed at him, but he spoke about something that's real. And he suffered. His fundraising wasn't so good because he didn't have so much confidence. And he came from the Orthodox community, which means he had a lot lot of anxiety, and you laughed at the Chabad rabbi, but he spoke about something that was real, which is Jewish pride, Jewish education. But what do you have now? His kids that are in Israel fighting for Judaism, fighting for Israel, fighting for Jewish religion, or fighting for Judaism all over the world, and you have your kids that are fighting Judaism and being anti-Semites. So how exactly did it work out? Maybe start with that, some introspection. If you're being such a serious, important reform rabbi, Ahavat Yisrael. It's nice try. You seem authentic. Good that you're starting to approach yourself to say, where did we go wrong? Took you 6 months. Good job. And it only happened because of the college campuses. Without it, it wouldn't have happened. You followed progressive values until now because it worked for you. So good luck with it. I don't think there's any hope. There's no hope for the reform movement. There's definitely the conservative movement is over. The reform movement is on its way out. Judaism in America is, the ganze Sache is gepegelt geworden. And that's it. You didn't follow core values yourself. You didn't listen to your gut. You got you $320,000 a year. And this is what you have.